Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm going to be really quick, but I am cooking fried cabbage. The only reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because a lot of people had asked me, what do you do to make the fried cabbage? Now, keep in mind, this is not going to be no fancy production because I'm just not that type of person. But what I am going to show you is how anybody, if you don't know how to cook fried cabbage, how to make it lovely and delicious, and it's really simple. What's the difference between fried cabbage and boiling it in a pot of water? The flavor is the difference in the way you cut the cabbage. It's more like a shredded type cut. So we have in here 1 package of bacon, nothing special. This is actually the brand that I got from Walmart. This brand right here is just the regular country farmhouse smoked bacon slices, nothing special. I cut them and chopped them up. I also chopped up 1 onion and half a bell pepper. And these things you guys do for taste. Some people like to put garlic up in theirs. Go ahead and put your garlic up in there. I do sometimes too. And you can always add it later if you forget something, but it tastes better when you do it when you're first cooking. Now, a lot of people like to use grease. I like to just use mine with the natural juices and flavor of the bacon, and I am heavy on the butter. So you know I'm going to add some butter. Now, this is not going to be necessarily healthy, but it is going to taste good, okay? It's going to be worth the calories. And it's mostly vegetables. This looks like a lot of meat because the vegetables aren't in it. So that's what I'm doing. And you saute everything. And when you're sauteing it, what you want is you want your vegetables to be tender. Now, in fried cabbage, you don't want your vegetables to be mushy and just like fall apart. You want a tenderness, but you want a firmness and a little bit of crunch to it. And so it just really has more flavor because you haven't boiled all the goodness of the cabbage out in the water. So yeah, and then for all of you people who do cook, you know that when you add more water, it takes away from flavor. Just like when you're making a recipe that requires more flour, you can have it seasoned to perfection. When you have to add more flour up in there, it's going to take a little bit away from the flavor. It's just normal. So that's the great thing about fried cabbage. All the flavor mostly stays in the pot. Now I'm going to cook this. And this is probably not going to be the best you can see, but you can see good enough. So I am cooking this till the bell pepper and the onions become a little translucent, you know, for better flavor, and they ain't going to taste like a raw onion, you know. So yeah, so that's what I do with this. Now another thing that I'm going to do, which will definitely balance itself out, is I always use just like a regular stick of butter, and I like to put some in before I put my cabbage in. So I put just like a half a stick right now, and then I put a half a stick later. I'm using 2 cabbages, and I have cut them into shreds, like shredded lettuce, because that's how I like mine. And I feel that it's easier to melt down, you know, when you're cooking it. Now, you don't have to wait until the onions are all exactly translucent, because you're going to add the cabbage, and putting the cabbage in is definitely going to take some time to kind of melt and cook down. So I'm going to add some cabbage, and like I told you guys, I'm going to show you this big old bowl. I don't even know if you can see it. There you go. It's a big old bowl. It's full. Now, I'm only going to cook down some, just so you guys can get the concept. But on my own terms and time, I'm going to be making sure that I cook all this cabbage down. because I have a lot of greedy people up in my house that like to eat fried cabbage. And I would say that fried cabbage is great comfort food, and there are variations of the recipe. If you wanted to make it vegan friendly, I would tell you to cut out the bacon and use the vegan bacon and add just a little bit of liquid smoke. Add fresh garlic and onions and bell pepper, and you still would need a little bit of butter, and it will come out great. You can do that. So for all you vegans out there, if you happen to come across my channel and see me cooking this fried southern cabbage with this, as they call it, a carcinogen these days, bacon, you can do that. And it definitely will taste good. It's not bad at all. So either way, you can get your flavor. Now, if a person wanted to, they could add a lid and kind of smother it, you know. But what I like to do is I like to let mine get all mixed and blended up in there. I just kind of take my time stirring it and letting the meat get on top of the, and let the meat get on top of the cabbage. You guys gonna have to excuse me if you constantly see this shaking. I don't have my proper setup, and what I have this camera being propped up on is definitely not working. It keeps swaying, so bear with me. And you just stir it. And a lot of people that aren't used to really being in the kitchen feel uncomfortable cooking new things. Well, I want to let you know that if you ever cook fried cabbage and you need it to come out right, just follow these steps and you can't lose. You want the cabbage to be cut the long, skinny way, shredded. And you also want to cut up the bacon into little pieces. It only takes one pack. And then if you need garlic, because you like garlic, put some garlic up in there, chopped up, bell pepper, and onion. I'm not using garlic today, but I do have some, and I might go back in if I choose to and add some. But today I'm just using my onions. Like I said, one whole yellow onion, and I used a half of a bell pepper. Could you please stop moving? You keep moving. Thank you. You guys gonna have to excuse me. I got people doing things and I'm trying to do things two at once. Now, it's not done yet. I have saturated it for the most part into the meat as well as the butter that was in here. But I told you guys I also like to save half of the butter so that I could put it in on top as it's cooking down. And then that's when I like to add my seasonings. So that's what I'm finna do right now. I'm finna go back in with this one little piece of butter that's gonna be left. I'm gonna put this in. Put that up in there and get it melting. I also like to put in crushed pepper for flavor. Makes it have a little spiciness to it. I don't never measure when I cook anything. I always just kind of do it kind of free live, you know. That's just the way I like to cook. But when you are cooking, get comfortable with it. It doesn't matter who you cook like. Cook like yourself. Get comfortable with it and just do you. So when you do that, you don't have to have a measuring cup. You just need to know what things taste like. Now, I just add some crushed red pepper, and I'm going to go in with a little garlic salt. And then after I do that, gotta have a little seasoning salt. And I don't know what you like to use, but it doesn't matter. Do it according to your taste. I'm using Dollar Tree seasoning salt today, but I will not lie, my preference is Lori's. But this is all I got for today, so we're going to use what I have and make it work. That's all you have to do. Make it work. Okay. Little bit of seasoning salt. Now, to me, that's good. I won't be adding any more seasoning. About the only thing I will add is, like I said, that garlic and perhaps the rest of this cabbage that I got sitting to the side. Now, you see how it's melting down? You have to be still and stop rocking. You're sleeping. You guys excuse me. Somebody keeps rocking my setup that I'm trying to keep this camera still so you guys don't feel like you're getting seasickness. So, yep, here we go. And as you guys can see, the flavor, it smells good, it looks good. And for some of you, if you like Oriental food, I will tell you what, it's already at the firmness of how the cabbage is when you go to like an Oriental restaurant. Now, I like mine like that, but my family likes theirs cooked a little bit softer, because then they feel like they eating raw vegetables. But I like mine like that, but I'm going to do it for them, because it's mostly always about them anyway. So I am cooking it down. And you see how that's cooked down? It's cooked down. And the good thing about this cabbage, let me tell you, it feels like a full course meal, just a little bowl of cabbage. So, you know, for that reason, I don't worry about the bacon in it. I do not worry about the butter in it. And I don't worry about the seasoning, because it just fills you up and you don't have to eat nothing else unless you want it to. But because of my family being who they are, this is just the beginning for me. I have 1,000,001 things that I'm going to be cooking today. And I try to do meal prep for the whole week. So I'm not even finished yet. But I just wanted to take the time to share this with you guys, because somebody asked me, well, could you show us or could you do the recipe? So I apologize if the production wasn't the best. But hey, you do what you do, how you do. So it's good enough to me for anyone who never tried it before to get that confidence and throw it up in that pot and get it cracking. And you will have yourself Southern fried cabbage comfort food. And like I told you, one more time, variation of the recipe for a vegan or vegetarian. Use the cabbage. You can use the vegan bacon. And you can also use fresh garlic for a little extra flavor. Use the bell pepper and the onion, and you are going to get the same taste if you add a little bit of liquid smoke. So don't forget that. And if you just like to cut calories, use the turkey bacon. Turkey bacon works good too. You just got to know how you're seasoning it and flavoring it, and you're good to go. So now let's see the final product. You see that? Look at that cabbage. Look at that cabbage and all that flavor up in there. And I got some more cabbage that I'm going to add to this. But trust me, this is delicious and a must try. If you came by this video, smash the like button, give me some love, and leave a positive comment. If not, it's all good. Take care. Wish you nothing but the best. Talk to you in another video. Love you, YouTube fam. Bye-bye.